I want to thank y'all for joining us here today on the GAB Zone for the news that I choose. Facts, big facts. Man, but anyway, I'm going to continue to bring awareness about what's going on in the world. And if you have any story that you feel like I should be bringing awareness to, DM me. Let me know what it is. And I'll do the research and bring the exact. It won't be what I said. It'll be what they said exactly. And I'll just respond to it and put my input on it. Because some of it is simply ridiculous. And you already know I'm not going to be quiet on some things. Especially not the things that matters the most to me. And killing people. Too many people dying. Not enough answers. Yeah. I'm going to bring it here on the GAB Zone. I ran into a story of a black lady, a young black lady, who had children who passed away at Harris County Jail. Rabbit hole so deep, I had to put my glasses on because this is about to get real. Man. And it all starts now.
Inmates who tell the same disturbing story. Fox 26's Randy Wallace joining us now live from the Harris County Jail downtown. Randy.
Yeah, Anthony. Now, the sheriff's office says Monica Lee Love was pronounced dead at 9:01 p.m. at St. Joseph Hospital. But 5 women in jail with Monica, who've given their names and SPIN numbers, say she died at the jail, and no one performed CPR.
My mother is a really open, giving person.
Monica Lee Love, mother of 7, has a nonviolent criminal history involving theft. She had been in the Harris County Jail for 24 days. She had no bond set due to a warrant out of Brazoria County.
The moment she collapsed, my sister received a message and a call at the same time in regards to her collapsing.
This past Saturday, her daughters say they got phone calls from 5 other inmates concerned about her. You have inmates that are talking about how long it took.
Yes, these inmates stated that it took, some stated 15 to 20 minutes, some said 20 to 25 minutes. They estimated that it took any medical staff to respond to her collapsing, that they yelled out and they hollered and they banged on the windows to the picket for help.
Inmates told you what? That she was dead when they put her on the
When they put her on the stretcher. They said she was cold.
They said she was cold. Her lips and stuff was purple, and all that was already done. Like she was already in color stuff before medical even arrived.
Before she even left that floor, she was dead.
They knew that.
And they knew that. And if they never, ever proceeded to perform CPR on her, that they looked at her and they didn't want to touch her because she had, of course, bodily fluids on her. They were disgusted with my mom, is what they stated. They looked at her like they were disgusted with her. They didn't want to touch her. So no CPR was ever performed.
Her daughters say Monica was taken to the hospital last Tuesday due to heart conditions. She returned to the jail just 1 day before her death.
It's a good thing we had those inmates to speak for her, because all we would have had to know is a call saying she was dead.
Now, in a statement, the Sheriff's Office says the Texas Commission on Jail Standards and Texas Rangers are investigating in accordance with state law. The Sheriff's Office Internal Affairs Division is also investigating to see if all policies and procedures were followed. Monica's cause of death is pending an autopsy. Reporting live from the jail, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
Jail have died in recent days after the sheriff's office says they had medical emergencies.
And this comes after years of criticism from state officials and local activists over jail conditions and safety. We've reported on it every step of the way. Pooja Lodia joining us live this afternoon with the latest. Pooja?
Local activists tell me that they worry that these 2 recent jail deaths could mean that the jail is starting to erase some of its recent improvements. So far this year, there have been 4 deaths of inmates who have been in custody at the Harris County Jail. last year, there were 20 deaths of those inmates, which is double the number from 2024. Now, according to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, 30-year-old Tanner Goldade died at St. Joseph's Hospital on Sunday after experiencing some kind of medical emergency. Officials tell us that he had been in the jail for 301 days, arrested on a charge of assaulting a police officer. Officials also tell us that 33-year-old Tevin McClendon died while he was being housed in a Louisiana jail. He was in custody of the Harris County Sheriff's Office, but had been taken out of state due to overcrowding here. Officials say McClendon, who was in jail on a charge of engaging in organized criminal activity, smoked some kind of substance before having a medical emergency. He, according to officials, did die on Friday. Now, the Harris County Jail is currently in compliance with state jail standards, but this is the first time that the jail has been in compliance for multiple years. And we have also reported that the jail has recently opened up a medical wing for people who are chronically ill, so people who may need to go in for blood pressure checks and things like that. But of course, local activists say they want to see more and they want to make sure that some of those improvements continue.
They say the real need is medical and mental health care, not more guards. Anayeli Ruiz is live with her emotional words and what county leaders have to say. Anayeli.
Well, that's right. These mothers are speaking out in protest. They believe that their jail actually needs more medical personnel and not more jailers. The Harris County Jail at one point was so full, inmates had to be outsourced to out-of-town facilities. They were sent to facilities in Louisiana, Mississippi, and one in Beaumont. Now Harris County is trying to bring them back.
It requires more supervision in those areas. So the 300 that we brought back from Mississippi.
And to bring them back, the county says it needs to hire more jailers, 131 to be exact. But mothers who lost their sons while in Harris County custody feel the investment is not right.
The jailers are not equipped to handle people that have mental illness.
For Sarah Knight, it's personal because she lost her son, Jaylene Anderson, while in custody. She feels like more investment needs to go to medical and mental health.
He had 6 repeated continual seizures back to back to back in this facility. And Harris County is responsible because you all shipped him there.
Anderson died while he was in Louisiana at the outsourcing facility, but county commissioners say this investment in jailers needs to be done in order to prevent more out-of-state deaths.
This is necessary in order to make our jail safer and in order to bring more folks home.
And county commissioners have voted to approve the hiring. Now, the hiring of these jailers will cost the county $6.9 million. But they tell us this cost will be offset because the county will no longer have to pay to send off these inmates. Instead, that money will be saved on on all of the taxpayers, Now, they tell us the hiring should be done completely by the end of June. Reporting live in downtown Houston, Anayeli Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.
Let's jump right in here. Give us the details of what we know here so far.
Well, when it comes to in-custody deaths, the details are always limited because it becomes a Texas Rangers investigation. There's no telling how long that will take. But here's what we do know so far, and I'm going to get through this as fast as I can because it's a lot. A 58-year-old man, Billy Turner, he died on October 3rd while in custody. He was facing home burglary charges. A 34-year-old woman, Pebbles Girardi, she died on October 3rd while in custody. She was arrested for criminal trespassing and assault with bodily injury. Both booked on October 1st, died 48 hours after being processed. Now, I got a lot of information from the Texas Jail Project today. They break down what a medical emergency could mean. And so in these cases and many other cases, they believe that these were tied to their physical health or mental health, the inmates, and the treatment they needed they didn't get right away. The woman in this case was home. homeless. She was arrested a few months ago as well. She had a history of mental health issues, and that's common amongst the homeless population. The man also had a mental health history, and that's shown in the records online at the district clerk office. And there's a myth amongst the public that you get free health care in jail, so you shouldn't complain. But health care is actually one of the hardest things to obtain. And so this Texas Jail Project, they're hoping that the state sees this and looks at this as a public health issue, because there's still not enough officers in that facility to take care of that problem.
Detention officers are the gatekeepers to medical care. They have to take you to infirmary, or they have to bring the medical staff to your cell. So they are the gatekeepers. They have to first believe that you do need help, and often nobody believes unless it is too late.
And you know, Sherman, in terms of
this, I didn't.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah. So also, this is something I didn't know, Anthony. To ask for medical help inside of that facility, Good News says that inmates in that jail have to put in their request in a kiosk, and that takes a certain amount of mental capacity to do. So if you're battling mentally, you may not ever get the help that you may actually need.
All right, so let me piggyback off that for a second. So when you talk about mental health, it's an issue here not only in Harris County but all across the country. Representatives at various jails are dealing with this. So do we have an idea of how many people are dealing with these mental health issues, or can you really give us an idea of what the need is at the Harris County jail in terms of mental health?
This organization keeps a very thorough database, and they say that it's a disproportionate amount of people in Harris County Jail who are battling these issues, and a lot of them are homeless. Nearly 70% of the people in the Harris County Jail have some type of history of interaction with the mental health system in the county, and overall the psych population is at 79%. That is huge. So the State Commission on Jail Standards, they've been asking Harris County to fix these problems for a few years now. The Texas Jail Project says that, quote, punitive solutions will not fix the mental health crisis and the housing issues that we're seeing in the county.
Haley, an investigation is ongoing just in the last hours when we reached out to the Harris County Sheriff's Office to get a clarification on some things as well. We are waiting for their response as they get to work this morning. And this all comes as 3 other inmates also died after being in custody at the Harris County Jail over 2 weeks before. There have been 12 deaths this year, and as you said, that has surpassed the jail deaths in all of 2024. The latest, a 64-year-old man. His name is Harold Alexander Jr. He died the night of July 10th. Detention officers reportedly found Alexander unresponsive on his mattress where they performed CPR. He later died at a jail clinic. Alexander had been in custody since his arrest June 25th on a harassment charge. The Harris County Sheriff's Office says the Texas Rangers are investigating his death. The medical examiner is performing an autopsy to determine the cause of his death. This was just weeks after 3 inmates reportedly died within 48 hours. One of those inmates was 35-year-old Ronald Pate. His family attorney says staff gave him medication after he became, quote, agitated. He apparently started having seizures and went into cardiac arrest before he died at Bentop Hospital. Court records show he was in jail for 13 days for possession of a controlled substance. His attorney now is calling for the release of jail surveillance videos and his medical records.
So we are looking for answers. We want Sheriff Gonzalez to release the videos, and we also need the Texas Rangers to investigate. The Texas Rangers always used to investigate jail deaths, but then it switched to the Houston Police Department.
The Harris County Sheriff's Office is also putting on their own investigation here to determine if all policies and procedures were followed. Of course, they will be looking at those jail surveillance videos as well. A lot of questions, a lot of concerns here. As the investigations are ongoing, we will keep you updated. Haley, back to you.
All right, thank you, Kathy.
Renewed attention on rampant violence plaguing the Harris County Jail. That's right. Fox 26's Greg Rugen tells us many people believe the loss of life is a direct consequence of too many inmates under lock and key and too few people to guard them.
Fox 26 has learned new and disturbing information detailing horrific conditions inside the Harris County Jail on the night of this alleged crime. Critics have coined a new and sinister name for this place of confinement.
The Harris County Jail has become the house of death in Houston, Texas.
And the outcry against what's happened here is growing.
These inmates are not animals. Treat them with the same dignity that you would treat your brothers and your fathers and your sons and your kids. Don't treat them like dogs. They are not dogs.
The latest development, a manslaughter indictment lodged against former detention officer Eric Morales in the death of Jaquari Simmons. Attorney Dave Batten represented 11 other officers cleared of criminal wrongdoing by the same grand jury.
We've got some scapegoating going on here. I don't know why.
Batten says the death of Jaquari Simmons occurred during the massive winter storm of 2021, which caused power outages at the jail and forced detention officers on duty to work 30 hours straight.
We don't have enough people working. You can't work people these kinds of hours and expect them to function.
And there's more. Batten believes the public should know Simmons' death occurred as the entire jail was immersed in violent chaos.
There was a riot. In fact, during this period of time, Mr. Simmons had assaulted an officer who was trying to feed him, threw food on him, and came out trying to fight his way out of the cell. The officer hit him, knocked him back into the cell, closed the cell door. He was out of control. It was hard for the officer to try to get him under control. And they did everything they could to get him under control.
Whether the force used to subdue Simmons was criminal or justified will be for a jury to decide. But what few dispute is that fatigue, understaffing, and accumulated stress contributed to the fatal encounter.
We don't have enough people. That's why we had a rape in the jail. You know, it's a powder keg.
If the chronic overcrowding and understaffing continues unabated, Batten believes more preventable loss of life inside the Harris County Jail is a near certainty. At the Harris County Jail, Greg Krugen, Fox 26 News.
Shows the treatment of some inmates in custody in Harris County. The surveillance footage shows a jail guard repeatedly punching an inmate inside the Joint Processing Center. Fox 26's Jade Fleury has the story.
This has been a severe problem here at the Harris County Jail with guards using excessive force on individuals.
Video from January 19th inside Harris County's Joint Processing Center captures a clash between a jail guard and an inmate. At first, the guard is seen speaking to inmate D'Alessandro Chavez Sandoval from afar.
He was basically telling him to be quiet because they were like calling roll, because they were calling roll in the JPC, and the guard claims that Alessandro was laughing and telling jokes.
The guard is seen approaching the inmate, grabbing him by the sweatshirt and punching Chavez Sandoval multiple times.
There was unwarranted and excessive force.
Chavez Sandoval is seen swinging back at the guard as multiple jailers step in.
What the proper procedure is to take him to the ground and put the handcuffs on, which they eventually did. Not this beating.
Chavez Sandoval was in the Joint Processing Center for a technical violation of his probation as a juvenile years ago. His mother says he called her the same day it happened.
Como mamá, no se lo deseo a otra madre.
She says she was devastated when she watched the video and that she hopes for justice for her son.
How long it takes?
Evan Griffin Lee died while in Harris County Jail custody more than a year ago. His mother says that even though the Texas Ranger said he suffered a blunt force trauma, no one has been held accountable, and she has still gotten no answers about what happened. But tonight, as Devin Clark found out, she has gotten the attention of the Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg, who is now vowing to look into this case.
With some accountability and some closure is much needed now. Over 500 days. And it hurts nightly.
Jocelyn Griffin is hoping to put an end to her sleepless nights. She says only answers about her son Evan Griffin Lee's death will help with that. He died while in Harris County Jail's custody back in March of last year.
They have not expressed anything to me.
She says at the time, she only heard from doctors that he had brain bleeding from blunt force trauma.
I didn't know until I got the phone call from Bentob physicians that my son was in need of an emergency surgery and he could not make a decision for himself.
Several days later, her 31-year-old son was dead. To this day, she says she's still gotten no explanation. Now, she brought her concerns directly to District Attorney Kim Ott, who spoke at tonight's Houston Police Chief's Positive Interaction Program meeting about the state of her office, in part touting recent success in reducing the number of backlogged cases that had been overwhelming the Harris County justice system.
My son was killed in the Harris County jail, and it was ruled a homicide by the Texas Rangers. So I'm trying to find out how the system feels that no grand jury should go on to find out what happened. How does the case close? I'm kind of confused with that system. I can't address the case without looking.
But on a for real note, my heart goes out to the families that's been involved in this. So what do y'all think? Who's at fault? I don't know. It's a little questionable. They coming out with so many different reasons, can't you see in the back, as everybody keep popping up with different stories over these years. This is a time span of about a 5 to 7 year. That's a lot of deaths. Think about it. Why is there no answers? Just not enough employees. What? What do have not enough employees mean checking on everybody's well-being? Aren't there cameras everywhere? Come on now. There's more to these stories. Y'all be aware. Allegedly.